What's going on, guys? This is Kyle Carroll with MyMMAnews.com and Carroll's Corner MMA podcast. Today, we are joined by Danny Flashanado, Maldonado, who I believe just fought recently and plans to be fighting again soon. I take that back. You didn't fight, right? Because your fight got canceled last second while you were in Florida.
Yeah, actually got canceled an hour before it was supposed to start. So,
which is brutal for anyone who knows how training goes, and then you're traveled all the way to Florida from New York, and then it gets canceled an hour before. That's devastating. So I feel for you, but you do got a fight coming up on June 19th, I believe, and then you said you have some other fights planned ahead of that. So Dan, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I just need a fight. I feel like it's been way too long, and it's like it's about time I get in there. It's a lot of changes I've made, so I need to show it.
Awesome. So I know you have the fight coming up on June 19th, right? You said that?
It's June 12th, actually.
June 12th. Okay. All right. Tell us a little bit about the fight, maybe the promotion. I don't know if you're allowed to tell the promotion yet.
Yeah.
And then as well as who you're fighting. And then let's dive into some of the changes you believe you've made since your last fight.
All right. Sounds good. So I've so far June 12th, we're working on it's called UBG, Ultimate Battlegrounds in Myrtle Beach. I got a couple of my teammates on the card. Not a confirmed an opponent. I mean, we kind of know, but nothing's been signed yet. I know the opponent. He's I believe a Division II NCAA champion. You know, so that's exciting. I like to fight wrestlers, and hopefully, I get to knock this one out. So I'm about that.
Awesome. And so what are some of the changes though you've made since your last fight? How do you believe you've improved? Where do you believe you improved? You're now fighting in the professional ranks. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you've been doing.
Well, I guess just to go, back into the past, like I feel like when I turned pro, I didn't have like I had a fallout with the team that I was at originally, where I was like winning titles and stuff, and I never really like rebounded correctly. Like I really didn't find like a solid team where I felt like I belonged. Like I was just gym hopping. I was training hard, but I was gym hopping. I didn't really have a head coach. I was just, I was training my striking and my grappling, and it felt right. But like after like thinking about it and like seeing the results, it didn't make sense. Like I didn't trust my cornerman. I didn't trust the work that I put in. So like I was just taking like I had a really good fight, my first pro fight, and then I just had, to be honest, I had just terrible luck, like just like bullshit calls, like illegal elbows, and unfortunate circumstances. When it came to touching gloves in my last fight, and I got flying kneed instead, which wasn't fun. I mean, my nose is still here, but my nose is broken, and I fought the whole fight with a broken nose, and I thought I won that fight. And all my pro fights, I was winning. So it just like very like it was bad luck, and I went to a dark place, and I had to just realize like I'm either gonna quit and just give up and retire, or I'm just gonna sit back and then just like make the changes. Then COVID came, everything was closed, but I love to train, so I found a way to train at a gym where I will not say the name because I don't want nobody to go to jail.
Fair enough.
So like I had a lot of pro fighters come, a lot of amateur champions come, and we did nothing but spar, and I just realized that I'm a lot better than a lot of people think. Like I'm not going to say any names, but I beat a lot of guys up in the gym that are pro champions now and doing well for themselves. Like, and I had competitive rounds with most of these guys, and it's like, okay, like I know that I'm not just some regular dude. And then I started working with a sports doctor. I changed my nutrition and my lifting, so I'm in the best shape I've ever been. I linked up with an awesome team, Warriors Nation, out of Dumbo, Brooklyn. I got awesome teammates. I got awesome coaches. So it's like I'm finally at like the place where I feel like I can make like a serious run. And I'm not talking about just winning. I'm talking about just destroying everybody. Like my mindset and like my physical, appearance has changed. My like everything is on another level. I think it's like about time that I like, made my mark. Now I just need to fight. So that's all that's left.
Awesome. And what was some of those things when you said you were in the darkest places? You were on the fence about retiring, continue. Where do you go? What was it that kept you going and made you? You know what? This is something I'm passionate about. This is something I want. What was that thing that get back in the gym, get back training? What was that pushing you?
You know what it is? Like I feel like I've always known that I was good. Like I always known that I had skills. I've trained with some high level guys, and I just know where I'm at. And it's like once I broke my nose, obviously couldn't train, even though
Hmm.
I did, which was not the smartest thing I ever done. But like COVID happened, and I was forced to take time off and just kind of reflect about like everything that happened because everything was closed down. So before I started like illegally training, I took some time to myself just to think about all the changes and talking to my teammates and like people that I consider mentors in the game. They all said you got it. You got all the skills. You just got to put it together. You got to just be focused because I was taking too many shortcuts and I was going through relationship issues that I'm not gonna get into, but a lot of other personal things in my life, and it's like I just need once the world shut down, it's kind of that was good for me to kind of like sit back and just just reflect and I feel like I made those necessary changes and I went into a dark place because like I'm so used to winning and then to lose it's to lose over and over and over again and to not be really my fault and really like broke my heart.
Hmm.
And it's just like now that I had time to reflect, I realized the man I want to be and the skills that I possess, that it'll be a crime, an absolute crime if I just retire. So there's no chance in hell I'm gonna retire. And when I start fighting again, I'm on a mission. All those losses I have, I'm getting all these rematches back, and I'm putting these guys to sleep.
Awesome. And what's your current record right now?
I'm 0-3, which is the ugliest record I think ever.
But you're still young. You're still early in your career. You could always turn that around, and
Yeah, yeah,
like
of
you
course.
said, you plan to and remove those marks on your record. So, so you said you hitched up with a nutritionist and a doctor, a sports doctor, and helped you turn around your pretty much your physique and your health and everything. Tell us a little bit about that and the difference from being an amateur to now being a pro, working with someone like a sports doctor or a nutritionist who changes your diet and stuff like that to help you be more successful.
Yeah, because when I turned pro, I didn't really have the access to those things. Like I was doing my own weight cuts, I was doing my own diets, just googling stuff and
Hmm.
like you watch those in UFC embedded and you're like, oh, this guy does this, like it might work. I guess it works for me. So I was doing all that, and then I was my own manager. I was like getting my own fights. It was just too much on my plate. So when I hooked up with my sports doctor, he's an awesome dude. He fixed my diet up. He saw my past fights. He saw that I had potential and that I was a hard worker. So he just switched up my diet, put me on some serious like lifting sessions and strength and conditioning sessions. And I see it in the gym. I don't get tired for a flyweight. I got a whole bunch of more muscle than I had before. I'm manhandling people in the gym. Like I'm pushing the pace. Like so, it's like it made me a believer that like, oh, I guess I was always doing this by myself, but now that I have a doctor and somebody like he's cracking in the numbers and crunching in the numbers and everything is just like escalating. It's just like this is what I was missing. It takes so much pressure off my back where it's like, cool, all I got to do is fight. I got awesome coaches. All I got to do is fight and just listen to the my peers, and then I will do well. So it's like it definitely is like a huge weight off my shoulders for sure.
Now, did you hire a manager?
It's a friend of mine. We had an idea. It's a Swayze Management. Shout out to my boy. He had some connections, so we kind of like hooked up, and I gave him the idea that he should do it. So now he manages all the guys on my team, including me, and somebody I trust a lot. So like I know we're not cutting corners. We're not sleazy people over here. So yeah, we did it together. He's taking it over, and we're doing big things with that stuff.
That's also, and I'm sure that definitely does take pressure off your shoulders when you're not trying to find your own fights. You're not trying to, negotiate the contract because now you're on the professional level. You're
Exactly.
talking money and everything else that goes involved with the weight cuts and where you got to be and where your opponent's got to be, taking those phone calls, as well as lining up where you have to be for training and stuff like that. And he could help find you places to train and then just give you the number and address and tell you go
Exactly.
be there. So I'm definitely sure that probably pulls a ton of pressure off your shoulders. Like What about it? What about being a professional MMA fighter attracts you to this? Because you said you're on the fence, but you could go do a 9 to 5 job and not get your face punched in and work your tail off and make a decent living doing that, or you can continue fighting and you get your face punched in, and then you have to recover, and then you see gruesome injuries where you see a guy like Chris Weidman
Yeah, man.
cracks his shin in half, and I hope speedy recovery to him. Thoughts when you see stuff like that? Is that something that maybe changes your mind? Like, it puts you back on the fence, or is that what? I understand this is part of the sport.
I mean, I understand it's part of the sport. I mean, I feel like the reason why I was on the fence of just like retiring wasn't because of I felt out of love for fighting. It's just like it was just bad luck after bad luck. And then even with this last fight, like I was in the best shape of my life. I had a
Mhm.
really awesome training camp, and then for it to be pulled under the rug, pulled under me, and saying, "Hey, your opponent is in the hospital, and he's not going to show up in about 2 hours, which is not supposed to fight him." It was just like it did hurt. It did hurt a lot because it's like I put in so much work, and the MMA gods have been terrible to me. Like I fought in my pro career, I fought nothing but the top pro fighters. And then I see guys in the UFC. I see guys who are champions in the regional circuit, and they fight nothing but shitty ass people. They fight nothing. They cherry pick their opponents, and it's like I'm over here fighting the best guys, and I see guys that are like on the contender series, and they fight nothing but hand picked opponents. So I was like, there's no way I can just give up like that because these guys are getting all the notoriety and they're getting all the shine. They fight nothing but bums. And I've been fighting from the amateurs all the way to the pros, nothing but killers the whole time. So it's like, I know I am elite. I know I'm one of those killers. So that's the reason why I'm like, I'm not giving up. And then, like it's damage is part of the sport. Like people getting knocked out or injured is part of the sport. It's like, it's what you sign up for. Like, I just love fighting, and it's like there's no way I could just give up like that. And it's just like even at the darkest times, I'm still here. I'm still doing this interview. I'm still telling you that I'm gonna be back
Mhm.
and I'm gonna be a pro champion or whatever. I'm coming for it all. So no matter what, like times are hard, but it gets better.
Tell us what we could expect from you in your next fight, June 12th.
Violence, man. I'm coming with violence. I feel like my reaction time is super sharp. Like my stand up is way better. I got power in both my hands. I got speed. I've always had speed. My wrestling is always there. My ground game is, I feel like it just gets better and better and better. I just feel like I'm super well rounded, but now I'm super conditioned. So I'm not afraid to push the pace and go a little farther with my combinations. And yeah, I just feel like I'm going to finish everybody. I feel like I'm too precise and I'm too experienced to lose anymore.
Awesome, Danny. I know I've asked you this before. What is one thing about you that nobody knows about you, the fans don't know, but you'd like to share?
Mm, damn. I mean, everybody knows I like cheeseburgers.
That we do.
I guess okay, something I guess nobody knows about me. The way I stay calm in the back before I fight, I listen to Sade.
Okay.
Yeah, so she calms me down. Probably because when I grew up, my mom used to play it all the time. When
Mhm.
I listen to it, it kind of puts me in a place of like being relaxed and being nurtured as a child, as I'm about to do violence in like 10 minutes. So like, yeah, I guess listening to Sade in the back calms me down. That's something my people don't know about that. I don't think
That's
my
awesome.
bird,
All right.
but yeah.
Nice, nice. So like right before you go out to a fight, you like to be a little calmer than
Yeah, I'm not trying to
pick up
yell.
the intensity.
Yeah, I don't like yelling and screaming and listening to like crazy. I feel like that's too much. Your emotions already all over the place, so I
Mhm.
like to just be calm and then release it in the cage, I guess.
Awesome. Well, Danny Flashanado, Maldonado, we are looking forward to seeing you get back in the cage on June 12th down in Myrtle Beach. Any last words? Anyone you want to shout out to? Anyone you want to recognize?
Shout out to my management, Swayze Management. That's my guy. Shout out to Warriors Nation, my team. Shout out to my boxing coach, Rob Acevedo. Shout out to my doctor. But I'm not gonna say his name because that's for me only. That's my guy. Nobody can have him but me. Shout out to you for always doing interviews with me. You always been my guy. Shout out
Appreciate
to
that.
Shout out to Chris Machi as well because he's my boy. He's always got my back. And yeah, I'll be fighting in June. I'm fighting in August as well, and maybe Triton fights in July. So I'm trying to stay busy. And then when I go on my 3-fight win streak, I will be fighting for a pro title. So check me out for that too.
Looking forward to it, Dan. Best of luck, and hopefully we'll be able to find the stream if we do have a stream for the show. I'm gonna put it down in the description below the YouTube video. So if you're watching this and you want to watch Danny's fight, definitely check out the stream below. I'll put all the information down there. This is Carroll's Corner MMA podcast from MyMMAnews.com, and we're signing off.